Okay, so some of the restocks in my area recently have been fairly dry, more specifically Walmart restocks. And I want to talk about potentially why that is and give some examples. So this is one of the local Walmarts near me. As you can see, this is a fresh restock. I probably missed it by a couple hours. And I got a couple photos, but we'll go over the sports section first. This isn't the greatest photo, my apologies there, but as you can see, very little to no hanger boxes. There's a couple old Chronicle hanger boxes there, but there's no newer hanger boxes. It's pretty much all just blasters and megas. And as you can see in this row, this is entirely just football. So at the very end here, you have a full stock of Prism football megas that were marked at $60. A lot of the time at Walmart, the blaster boxes are $35, but this is the first time I've seen all of their Prism football blasters. The tag there said $40. You have some Mosaic football blaster boxes, and then some more Prism and Absolute, and then some of the other brands. And then down below, this was kind of miscellaneous. You had some soccer, some baseball, some discounted blasters. And then down below, you had a lot more discounted older NBA blaster boxes, along with some other miscellaneous products as well. So if we pan over, and I know I didn't get the top section in here, that's my bad, but the top section was completely empty. All they had out for the Pokemon stuff was these old Halloween trick-or-treat packs that nobody wants. And then you had a couple Shrouded Fable ETBs and this newer Blood Moon Ursaluna box, which does have a couple Surging Sparks packs, so that's not a bad pickup. But as you can see, they're filling this shelf space with Lorcana, plushies, Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. They got more plushies at the bottom. This is another basketball thing. So I don't even know if they even had any Prismatic at this restock. They could have, and it could have just got swiped right away. But normally you would see an empty space on the shelf where that used to be sitting, unless they had just had the 3-pack blisters, which would have been sitting up top. And then we go back to the kids section, and as you can see, completely empty. They have these bulk mystery packs, a small case of these tins, more of these Tyranitar EX collection boxes, and then one Shrouded Fable ETB. There might have been a second one back there. So the only thing we're snagging at this restock is there was one Paldean Fates ETB tucked in the back behind these plushies here. And at Walmart, these are currently going for $45, so it's a decent deal. But other than that, this is one of the most barren restocks I've seen at a Walmart in a long time. So if we go back to last week, this is a different Walmart in my local area. And this is another one I'm pretty sure I missed by a few hours. And you can tell it's a fairly fresh restock, just how everything's fairly organized and faced to the front. Like these restocks get torn throughout the week as far as people just throwing boxes around. But as you can see, nothing up top, very little NBA products. And then you come over to the Pokemon section. Again, more of those trick-or-treat packs, but they filled most of the space where they would have the Pokemon stuff with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Lorcana, which again basically never happens. And I didn't get a photo of the week before, but this is pretty much exactly how the week before looked. Like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, a few random Pokemon products, but the same thing where they had just a couple of these boxes laid out on the shelf. The only difference from the week before is they had a few of those Charizard figure collection boxes sitting over here. But this is kind of how these restocks have been looking. So I don't think my local Walmarts have been getting any Prismatic, at least ETBs so far, because the ETBs should be MSRP $55 at Walmart, and there's not even a price tag label for that on the shelf anywhere. So maybe they've had the 3-pack blisters. And then this is the back section from that same restock last week. I'm pretty sure they restocked earlier in the day and I didn't get there till later in the day, which is why this looks a little more torn through. But as you can see, a couple of these collection boxes, a few of these tins, one of those mystery boxes, a few Paradox Rift hanger boxes, and then a bunch of sleeves and battle decks. And so this video here is from the same Walmart, but from 3 weeks ago. And as you can see, some of those collection boxes still, a lot more tins, Pokeball tins and the stacking tins. Bunch of the MJ Holdings mystery boxes, some of those smaller Infernate boxes, some of these 2-pack blisters, a lot of the same stuff, just more of it. Some of the C23 mini tins, a couple knockout boxes, and then I was able to find just sitting on the shelf 3 of these spring collector chests. These came out in spring of 2022. These are like 2.5 years old at this point. And then on top of that, I was able to find a couple of Surging Sparks blisters also just sitting back there. And then I didn't take a photo of the front section of this restock, but it looked pretty much exactly the same as this photo. The only difference was there's one extra Blood Moon Ursa Luna box sitting up there. So I guess the question is, why are these restocks so barren recently? Because there's another YouTuber, Pokeballer Mike, who does a bunch of restocks, and a few of the restocks he's gone to have looked like this. But if I was gonna guess, I think what's happening is, I think after all the Black Friday sales happening in November, and then all the holidays and all the holiday shopping, plus all the deals and things that people are buying online, specifically from Walmart, I think they're kind of just wiped out right now. Like, even if you did have Prismatic Evolutions products at those restocks, if that's the only other Pokemon stuff you have there, that's still pretty barren for what they normally have. And like finding those spring collector chests, there's no way they reprinted those, right? So that's just something that they cleared out of the warehouse, which normally happens after the holidays and sometimes during the holiday season. And then plus the overall hype of everything in the market, there's more people just buying stuff like crazy. I think overall that might be a big part of the reason why specifically Walmart restocks have been fairly lackluster recently. I have hit a couple Target restocks in the past couple weeks, and they had full shelves. They had a lot of product, but Target does not list nearly as many Pokemon products on their website for a good price that Walmart does. So I think Pokemon products from Walmart online get eaten up a lot more than Target products do. Also, one of the Target restocks I found, those Grand Adventure Collection boxes, those were still 19 bucks. That's still a really good deal. And then there were a bunch of Crown Zenith tins there, like the Galarian bird tins. And then last week, I was able to find the Zapdos 151 collection boxes at Target, along with a couple of the Tyranitar and Empoleon V tins. I didn't take any photos while I was there, because after I grabbed the tins, someone came up and grabbed half of the Zapdos 151 boxes. So I grabbed a couple of those real quick. So Target's still been getting Crown Zenith and 151 at the restocks from what I've seen over the past few weeks. But the local Walmarts I've been checking seemingly haven't been getting any even Prismatic Evolutions. All they've had are Shrouded Fable ETBs consistently, and then a couple of the random collection boxes, and then those Trick or Treat packs. And then in the back section, it's mostly tins. And you'll find some older stuff back there sometimes. But since Pokemon just announced that they are going to print to demand, at least for Prismatic Evolutions, I could see at least Walmart restocks still being fairly barren for the next month or so. Because it takes a little bit of time for Pokemon to print this stuff, send it to Walmart and Target and whatever big box stores, and then get it distributed to where it's actually on the shelf. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's not much stock for pretty much all of February. I think it might be closer to March before you start seeing a lot more product show up in stores. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. If I can't really find anything worth grabbing for the next month, you just save your money for a month. And there's another example I wanted to show. I found this old photo on my phone just to use as reference. So this was early November of 2022. And as you can see in the middle right here are these spring collector chests. And they definitely haven't printed these since then. But as you can see, I'm not sure if these price tags are 100% accurate, but I'm pretty sure these were around 22 bucks at the time. Whereas the ones that I just picked up at Walmart a few weeks ago were marked up to 30 bucks. But for 7 packs, that's still a pretty good deal. But this is how restocks looked for a long time in 2022 and 2023. The shelves are just loaded with stuff, especially during the Pokemon Go era, because no one cared about Pokemon Go. You had a ton of collection boxes, a bunch of them were marked down because they just wouldn't really sell. And a lot of this stuff would just sit for most of the week. Like, I remember talking to some of the vendors, and if they didn't have room for stuff, they'd just pack it up in their boxes and send it back. I'm also curious how other restocks in other areas have been looking. So if you check your Walmart or Target or whatever other store in your local area, definitely let me know if you guys have been running into the same issue. I think it's just going to take another month or so before we start really seeing heavier restocks. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you could like and subscribe, that would be awesome. And I will see you on the next one.